Hello and welcome to week 3 of your activity bags. Thank you so much for all the photographs that you sent of the things you've been up to last week with the story of Ruth. They were really good, and hopefully some of you saw your work displayed at church on Sunday on our Zoom service. It was really good of you. So this week we've got a story of somebody who was kind unexpectedly, and it's a story that Jesus told to a crowd of people. And the story in our book is called The Kind Stranger. So I'm going to read it to you now. Jesus was talking one day when a man in the crowd asked him a question. "Can you tell me, Jesus, what I have to do to live forever?" Jesus smiled. "Love God," he answered, "and love your neighbour as much as you love yourself." "But who is my neighbour?" asked the man, hoping to trick Jesus. "Is he just the fellow who lives next door?" "Let me tell you a story," Jesus said, "and I think you will understand." Once upon a time there was a man like any one of us, who was travelling from Jerusalem to Jericho. Now, as you all know, that is a very dangerous road. It's twisty and it's steep, and there's no end of places for robbers and thieves to hide. Well, robbers and thieves were waiting that day, and they grabbed the man and they beat him and they took his money and left him to die. "Oh dear," sighed the crowd. They felt sorry for the man. Jesus went on with his story. In a little while, another man came walking down that road, a priest on his way home from worshipping God at the temple. He saw the dying man, and what do you think he did? "He helped him," shouted someone from the crowd. "He saved him," shouted another. "No," said Jesus, "he did not. He took one look at that poor beaten man and crossed to the other side of the road and walked away." "Oh my," the crowd muttered. "Wait," Jesus continued. "Soon another man passed by. He served God at the temple too. So what do you think this man did when he saw the wounded traveller?" "He ran for help," shouted someone. "He raised the alarm," shouted another. "No," said Jesus again, "he did not. Just like the priest, he crossed to the other side of the road and left the poor man to die." "Oh no," the crowd sighed. "Don't worry," said Jesus, "for there was one more man who passed by that day. He was a Samaritan." "A Samaritan?" shouted someone. "They're different from us." "We hate Samaritans," shouted another. "And they hate us," shouted a third. "So I've heard," nodded Jesus. "But when this Samaritan saw the man, he did not walk away. No, he bandaged his wounds, he loaded him on his donkey, he took him to a nearby inn, and he paid for that man to stay there until he was well." Jesus looked at the man who'd asked him the question. "So tell me," he said, "which of these men was a neighbour to the man who'd been robbed?" "The third one, the Samaritan," the man answered. "That's right," Jesus smiled, "because my neighbour is anyone who needs my help. Now you go and help your neighbour too." So one of the activities in your bag this week is to try and act out that story yourselves, perhaps with members of your family or even with your toys, and perhaps build the road to Jericho in the garden. So here's my little road to Jericho. There's my sign, there's the people, the first priest, the second, there's the Good Samaritan, there's the robbers hiding in the rocks, and there's the poor man who has been beaten up. I'm sure you can probably do a better job than me, but why don't you try and build a road to Jericho, and perhaps then send us some pictures so we can see what you've been up to. There's other activities as well, so have fun doing all that and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye!